So here we are, Warlord's Ruin solo on Hunter. Show you the build here. Main damage option is going to be Lament for this first boss, because you'll guard to rev it up. It increases the damage of it. It also will heal you while doing it. One way to help you stay alive. I've run Scatter Signal. You know you could also run Riptide, but Fusion Rifle is your secondary option in case you run out of ammo. Now here in this slot, your energy, I'm showing all these options. They all have heal clip. That's the main thing. I personally like the sidearm because of it. It kills the eyes in the cage really fast to be able to get out. So I've been preferring that in these testings. So we're running Prismatic Hunter. The main thing is Combination Blow with Stylus Executioner and Shroud. Combination Blow, you get a melee kill. It'll stack, increasing further melee damage. It also fully refunds your class ability. And then when you dodge near them, you can slow with Winter Shroud. Gambler's Dodge will give you the melee back. And then when you get the kill when they're slowed, you go invisible with Stylus Executioner. And it's just a feedback loop. You just keep repeating it over and over and over. Keep going invis. We're running it on Deadfall Shadow Shot, so that way I can tether the ground or the boss. It'll debuff him with weaken, and it'll also help with ad control. For the fragments, mostly Dawn and Protection. Dawn just to give you Radiant for more damage if you need it. Protection to give you the damage resistance when surrounded by enemies. Now for the armor, since we are going to be dodging and meleeing a lot, I like to run Hands-On and Dynamo just for the increased super gains. Heavy-handed, so every time I get a melee kill, it'll make an orb. Bolstering Detonation just in case I mess up the rotation, so I can use my grapple to help me get my class ability back. Font of Vigor, so that way while I have armor charges from picking up orbs and stuff, I can get more melee. I personally like running Loosened Blades. You could go with more defense and run another resistance if you want. I like Loosened Blades just because it helps with the rotation for the sword, which I will explain when we get to a damage. Otherwise, a Concussive Dampener and I have Harmonic. Obviously, dual Solar Weapon Surge, and then I run Bomber to help get the grenade back from all the dodging I'll be doing. Powerful Attraction, so every time I dodge I pick up the orbs I'm making, and Time Dilation for the increased time on the armor charge. So here we will show the main cycle you will be doing this entire dungeon. You dodge to slow, then you get the kill, go invis, rinse, repeat, keep dodging, punching, that's all you're doing. Now when you get in these cages, my tip, always work bottom to top. Since the cage goes up, it's easier to shoot the higher ones as you go up, so shoot the bottom ones first so you don't miss it. So now we're going to be looking at the damage. I tether the ground. You can also tether him. I just prefer the ground. Go into the sword cycle. So you block to rev, then do 2 light attacks followed by a heavy. After the heavy, you do 2 unblocked light attacks to build up the sword charge. It allows you time to build up the sword charge. Once damage is over, you just kind of go back into building it back up your combination blow stacks, so dodging, meleeing, and that's all you do the entire time. So see here, you will see I find the 2 higher ones, then I shoot the lower one, then I shoot the middle, then I shoot the higher one. Having a heal clip weapon like that is nice for this because every time you kill those eyes, you can reload and get health if you ever get low. Now that you understand the basic rotation of how you go in and out of damage, skip ahead to the final kill. So now that he's dead, I switch over to an auto just to help with the gear puzzle coming up. It just makes things easier. You typically should always spawn in this room on solo. So you look at this guy, it's his right arm, so for me it's 3 and 3. So I shoot 3 to the right, 3 to the left. I will now show the gears I shoot in order, so you should see all 6. And then you should be able to get yourself out immediately. Now we are at the second boss. I switch over to a hand cannon just to help with eyes a little bit, still with heal clips for the healing. I also switch to golden gun through prismatic for the super, and then I run Celestial Nighthawk just to give it the big beefy damage. I also switch from Lament over to Dragon's Breath, so that way you can shoot the rocket and damage as it dispenses its fuel and does its ignitions. You can switch to your fusion rifle, so like for me, Scatter Signal, to do the damage in between. It's about 5 to 6 shots. Then your Dragon's Breath should auto reload after the 2 ignitions. Then you can shoot another one, and you're practically doing that for the entire damage. Otherwise, in between, you're still doing your dodge meleeing shenanigans. Lots of rolling on the floor, lots of orbs, lots of invis. It's really hard to get killed as long as you keep your cycle going. And then in case you do mess up, you always have a weapon with heal clip to give you healing to keep you alive in case you really need it. In this fight, every time you start a new wave, you will have those yellow bar invisible minotaurs. I like to always prioritize killing them just so they're less annoying. Once you kill them, they won't respawn until you complete a damage cycle, so you just kill them once, don't have to worry about them until they respawn again, so I always prioritize them first. Once you destroyed all the eyes, it will spawn the Scorned Captains. I like to always prioritize the left guy because it's just easier to kill. Typically, if you just hit him with the fusion, you should drop the first totem, and then when you kill him, it'll drop the second one, so you usually will get 2. Sometimes, if you're lucky, they'll be overlapped. You can get both in the one go. Otherwise, like this first example, I had to dip in and out, and you always have this. You have that safety fire right there to remove your stacks, so it's pretty simple. You do this, you should always get 2 eyes, so then you just do this twice, and then you're able to go right into damage. here I like to switch sides so that way I can kill these ads. Helps me to potentially spawn heavy, since that's the main thing you will need throughout this grind of an encounter on solo. Also, it's nice to build up your combination blow stacks again, so that way if I ever really need to go invis, I always have that in my back pocket. Now when dunking, I always like to dunk the back ones. You can dunk in any order you like. I just prefer the back ones, and then I will dunk in the front after. Now that I have the last one up, I like to go over, just kill more ads, just that way they're not shooting you constantly. Mainly prioritizing the snipers, because they will be able to do good damage at a distance. Otherwise, if you leave the regular guys alive, they have to run up to get you, which you already having to deal with regular ads anyway during damage, which dodging, punching is going to help with that, as you'll see shortly. Just make sure you kill a sniper so you don't have to leave damage to go kill them. Now the rotation, shoot a rocket, pop super anytime you want, and then while the rocket does its thing, it'll reload. Then in between, you can switch over to your fusion rifle to get supplemental damage in between. Otherwise, you're just dodging, meleeing all the ads that come up on you, and just keep rinsing, repeating on that cycle. Once damage is out, you just leave, go back to your punching, dodging cycle again to build them for stacks, and then it's rinse repeat. I know this transition area also can cause problems. Just, leave this in to show the route I typically take. Usually I don't die at all during this, so if you happen to be going for solo flawless, you could also take this route, as long as the ads don't get you. But taking this route, you shouldn't have any issues with any floating rocks hitting you and all that. You just keep hugging the side, you're very safe on the sides. So right here, I always jump to this rock here. It does break when you jump on it, but you should have enough time to sprint, jump, and you should always make that jump every time. And then here, I jump to this ledge. You should always make that jump, and you typically stick it right about there. And then here, I jump up to this rock, put you above the debris so that debris doesn't hit you at all, and then it's a very simple jump to the final ledge. Now here at the boss, 2 basic builds will work. This is still on Prismatic. I switch over to a Spirit of Caliban class item, just so that way when you get the melees it causes explosions. Otherwise everything else is still the same. Regular golden gun. The only difference is I switched to Magnetic Grenade and Facet of Dominance for a weaken, because it helps with either more boss damage or killing the captains a little quicker. Otherwise, it's still the same gameplay loop, dodging meleeing, but now you're going to notice the melees do a big explosion. It just helps with the ad clear, because these guys duplicate very fast. The other build you can run is an Assassin's Cal Arc Hunter, so it'll play the exact same as the Prismatic build. You just need the Assassin's Cal for the invis and healing aspect of it. So it's Gathering Storm is your super choice, so you throw it at the boss. Pair that with the Dragon's Breath Rocket. Both are passive DPS options to help you do pretty good damage while you try to stay alive. Flow State and Lethal Current for your aspects, so getting a kill on a target is jolted and makes you amplified. Also, your melees will deal jolt, will apply jolt, so they feed into each other. Resistance for the bonus damage resistance while surrounded, same as in Prismatic. Feedback, so when you take melee damage, you deal more in return. I also like to run just magnitude and amplitude, so that way the pulse lasts a little longer on magnitude and amplitude for making an orb of power while I'm amplified. So here, it'll play the exact same, you just punch, dodge, just now you get the jolt clearing, so it helps with ad clear the same way as Prismatic. It's just a different way to do it that doesn't require Prismatic or the exotic class item. here in my run, I get to this point, I see that he's already low on health, but I don't think I have enough ammo to push him, so I decide to wait to build up my super. This is always something you can do. There's no time limit to these things. You just have to have the patience, and if you're willing to wait, just wait to build up your super if you feel like you need it. Because I know I have 2 rockets, so I'd rather have the 2 rockets and the super for final stand, which is the most important thing. So I just wait, push him through with my fusion rifle. Also here shows that even on any of these plates, you can go down to lower floors to pick up ammo as needed. So if you ever run out of ammo or get low, just abandon your damage cycle early, go get ammo. You know, it's really about, don't ever try to feel like you have to push things in order to progress. Like, just patience is the key with this fight. It's a long fight. And in this final part, I will speed this up because I used both rockets, did the super. It wasn't quite enough to kill him, so I had to definitely on the fly improvise, and I just chose to stand here. Whenever I could, I would shoot him. I ended up switching to an auto here just to help with killing these eyes, and the heal clip giving me health, so kill the eyes to get the health, and then whenever I can and the side's clear, peek out, shoot him with fusion, rinse, repeat. Just do this until he dies. So hopefully if you follow these, you will get your solo clear. Best of luck to you. Just main final note is for these last 2 encounters is definitely just, it's patience. It's a slog. You're not going to get kills and a lot of damage in the cycles. It's going to take a few cycles. Just, it'll build up over time. So just be patient.